What's up, everyone? Happy New Year. Um, hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had, good holidays, good everything. I can't even remember when the last video I made was. Probably like a month ago or something. But it was January 2nd, and I want to start the year off. I'm gonna try to make start the year off good. I'm gonna try to make two videos today. I don't know if they'll both get uploaded today, but I'm gonna try to at least record them both today. But So what I want to do is gonna have a review for the full series of My Hero Academia, and then I'm gonna continue with my reviews for the Fallout season 2. So I'm gonna be doing a review of episode 1, 2, and 3. Combine those three into one review. Kind of don't remember episode 1 that good, but it wasn't too much that happened in it. But first, I'm going to do my review for the full series, My Hero Academia, which just concluded a few weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago, or I think it was 2 weeks ago. So, I've always been a huge anime fan, and I've said this before in different videos, but my whole life I've been a fan of so many things that I often like fall off and get back into things over and over. So there's been times in my life where I read comic books every day, and then I stop reading comic books for a year or two. Watch anime every day for like 6 years, and then I stop for like a year or two. Uh, Different shows, sports, all of those things. I have like up and downs with things, where I'll never really completely like 100% forget about something, but I'll pay far less attention. So so in recent years, I've been trying to get back into anime. Like I said, I never 100% like got out of watching anime. Like I always watched Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Super. But in between, before Dragon Ball Super came out, I did still watch animes. I watched Full Metal Alchemist. I watched Trigun, Inuyasha, all of those things, different things. But certain animes I never got into. Like I never got into Naruto, which I recently started watching a little bit of that. Like, cause at first when I was younger, I'd watch like the first 60 episodes and stuff like that. But anyway, none of that has to do with this. That's just me. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, so you're wondering like how much do I like anime? How much do I watch anime? There's been times where I watched anime all day. When I was younger, different animes, uh, whether it was through websites or the Anime Network when they used to have that on cable and different things like that. So this year I've been getting back into anime, trying to catch some like classics that I missed. I've been doing that with movies too. Like there's definitely some classics that came out before I was born, like Blade Runner. I want to go back and watch the original Blade Runner, certain movies. But in general, I've always been hugely interested in anime, sci-fi, as well as just cartoons, comics, karate movies, mysteries, James Bond, Godzilla, all different types of things. Um, but My Hero Academia seems to be a bit divisive in the anime community. Like a lot of people see it as just something like it's too childish for them. They've moved on to more adult animes. Like I was talking to a woman at the bar, and she was saying she watches anime. So I was like, yeah, I've been watching My Hero, and she's like, oh, I watch different kinds of things. Like I watch like Tokyo Ghoul, and from what I've heard, Tokyo Ghoul is a more adult, like serious anime. But to me, like I said, I've also never been like the type to only like one type of thing. So when it comes to anime, it's not just like, oh, it's got to be a childish anime, or it's got to be love themed, or it's got to be action packed, or it's got to be. I watch all of the different types just like as if it was normal television. Like people watch television, they don't just watch one type of show. They watch comedies, mysteries, dramas, and that's how I am with anime. I don't watch just one type of anime. I watch comedies, mysteries, dramas, thrillers, action packed. Um, horror themed or more um, gory type. So I would say My Hero is definitely not a gory anime. I don't feel like it's 100%. Like I think when people, the first episode or just reading the description of it, it might seem like it's a lot more childish than it is. Of course, it's gonna have those themes of friendship and stuff like that because they're in high school. But let me just give my description of the anime and say how I feel about it. Like I said, this is gonna be for the full series. So, would I recommend this to people who like anime? I would recommend anybody who likes anime to watch My Hero. If you ask me, it's one of my favorite animes. Now, I like anime so much that I like a lot of anime, so it's hard to judge it or to quantify. And like I said, I've been seeing that a lot of people who like anime seem to not like My Hero, um, for whatever reason. To me, the whole premise is a great idea of their like a society where everyone 80% of people have quirks, and there are schools for people to become heroes and learn how to use their powers, but just also become heroes. Now, not every quirk is good for becoming a hero. Some of them like would be completely useless in terms of becoming a hero, and even still. So the character starting off without having an ability, and he tells you first episode, this is the story of how I became the greatest hero. Um, and pretty much holds true to that. At the end, there's a little bit of a wrinkle to that, but in terms of a story where characters are utilized and not like completely forgotten, uh, I feel like I am gonna be jumping all over the place with this. But first of all, the main character is likable. The side characters are all likable. You honestly, you want to see them more, want to know more about them, even though everybody has, they're all in depth, and it's not like Dragon Ball Z can sometimes become, or definitely once it became Dragon Ball Super, once we got further on into Dragon Ball Super, it's the Goku and Vegeta show, which I don't mind. I wish Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z had more Saiyan characters. I wish Raditz didn't die, or I wish they brought him back. I wish we got to see the Saiyans conquering planets. I wish they would go back and do a Saiyan War movie, the Saiyan Civil War movie. And also, I know there's rumors that there's gonna be a movie about Vegeta's life growing up. Some are saying that's just just a hoax made up AI type thing that people are just making up. And it probably is, but honestly, I don't see any reason. Like, that's what I've wanted my whole life. From that episode, when they go back and they fight the ancient Saiyans, I thought for sure, like, eventually we're going to see some more Saiyans, see some old Saiyans. And the fact that we didn't see any more until, um, well, there's Turles and then Vegeta's brother. I can't even remember his name. Is it Tarble? I can't even remember Vegeta's little brother, but Tarble sucks, and Turles was cool, but he's just a Goku clone. Um, yeah. So I was incredible. That's my biggest disappointment in Dragon Ball, and one of my biggest disappointments in anime is that they didn't have more Saiyans in Dragon Ball. With My Hero Academia, it's not like there's any shortage of people with superpowers. Everybody's got abilities, and you just want to see them more. And this is a show where you want to get to know the lore more and the side characters more. You want to know who the top 10 heroes are. and you want to see them fight, and you want to see their powers and how they became the who they are and their rankings and stuff. So the theme from the beginning is a great premise for this show. 10 out of 10 premise. Everybody, 80% of the Earth's got powers. This kid starts off without powers, gains powers, and he's in school trying to become a hero. Okay. The so to me that the premise is a 10 out of 10. The power system. People debate different animes and which power systems they have. Chi or Ki or Nen or quirks. Quirks are up there. Now I know it's just superpowers, but the way it works in this world, a great power system. I don't have any issues with it. The villain, a compelling villain. It's not a villain of the week, not multiple villains. Now there are other villains, and they do have arcs where they go after these other villains, but the main number one antagonist stays the number one antagonist for the entire show. And he never feels overused like sometimes Frieza can feel overused. It's like, oh, now Frieza gets another power up and this and that. I was beginning to get tired of Frieza. Once again, I'm talking about Dragon Ball, so I'm not. But I'll do another. That just gave me the idea. I'm just gonna do that in another video, so I don't extend the length of this video. So yes, the villain amazing. The power, the heroes, from character design, the powers, the personalities are great. So honestly, this is an amazing anime. Top tier, S tier anime if you ask me. Now a lot of people are gonna say, oh, but it's not as gory as they would like. There's still incredibly intense fights. The way people use their powers, and they're not just overpowering enemies, but actually having to use intelligence and strategies and fights to beat people. That is so good to see when a lot of anime is just like, oh, I can't beat you. I powered up, or I got just a new random ability, blah blah blah, new move, and I win. I dig a little deeper and I win. These now, yes, they do have that in the show where quote going plus ultra. But even when they go plus ultra, it's epic every time. Endeavor going plus ultra against the normals was epic. One of the most epic fights, you know. And when a fight is supposed to be epic, it does not disappoint in this show. That's another thing. So overall, like I said, if you're interested in anime at all, I would suggest definitely watching My Hero. Like I said, some people might, and it's not even that it's so childish. It appears that way, but there's definitely some deaths and some scenes where it's like, oh, this is there's one memorable death where it's like, I don't even know how they were allowed to they don't show it, but the implication of this person's death is like, okay, that definitely ain't for children. You know, this, like I said, I don't want to ruin it, not even a little bit, for anybody who hasn't seen it. If you've seen it, the way that person dies, you'll know what I'm talking about, and you'll be like, first of all, the vengeance that you want them to receive, to get back, it's like these people got to suffer for what they did. A heinous, a, a heinous way to kill somebody, and extremely brutal. I hated it actually, because I actually really like that character, but it's 100% realistic. That is what would happen in that situation. So it's crazy, and I'll say the ending was also great. Some shows sell, they don't stick the landing. I think this show stuck the landing in a way that made it, and even towards the end, I was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna end this. Like I was kind of like, not. I don't think I'm gonna end this. I don't think I'm gonna like the way this ends. Is what I was thinking, and then okay, once I saw the ending, I was like, okay, but I'm still disappointed in this one thing though, and then that changed, and I was like, they did it. I'm happy about completely how this ended. And like I said, a lot of shows have been selling recently. Although I think this year more have been ending. Stranger Things just ended. That's debatable. I didn't see the ending, but I've seen people been debating it. Me personally, I've only watched Stranger Things up until season 2. That's one of those shows that I was watching with someone else, and then once I stopped watching it with them, I stopped watching it. But I just watched the first episode of season 2. Uh, well, I watched half of it, and I like fell asleep a couple weeks ago. But I was like super tired that night, so I'm gonna watch that all the way through, and I'll do a review of that. But My Hero, maybe I could have broke it down season by season, but I don't remember each season in detail like that. I do remember the first season. I was like, man, this is one of the best new animes. Had so much potential, and they did not drop the ball. So I'm gonna say, only thing it could have been longer. But what, they're gonna go on forever? If they went on forever, like there are shows that go on forever. But I think that this was it had they ended at the right spot, and I'm people ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it's a 10 out of 10 anime. Definitely watch. I know people don't like it. Not to say that it's 10 out of 10 for me, and that's all there is to it. I'm gonna hurry up because I gotta get to this next review of Fallout, but I'll say that's how I feel about My Hero Academia. Definitely go see it if you like anime at all. Even if you like different types of anime, check it out. Give it a chance. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll hate it. But I'm definitely recommending it to anybody who likes anime.